What's up guys, and welcome to the video today. I am in the basement. Now if you watched any of my videos from winter, you will know that the basement is the pain cave where my trainer is set up, and it's the middle of summer, so you're probably like, yo, why you in the basement? You should be riding outdoors. Yeah, I get it. So many people really harp on, like, it's almost like you rode the trainer in the middle of summer when it's not raining or storming or snowing. What's wrong with you? But you gotta remember that the trainer is a super efficient, quick way to do a workout. And I don't ride the trainer often, but I got a new bike. If you haven't seen the video, it's a 2020 Trek SL7 with disc brakes. Because it has disc brakes, it has through axles. My old bike was a 2016 Amonda. It had quick release, so I need to change the end caps on my Cyclops Hammer trainer. You might be asking, why don't you wait to change that until it's time to ride the trainer? The answer is because I'm gonna be riding the trainer very soon. I wanna do another ramp test. I had an increase on my FTP. I'm currently setting at 220 watts. So I'm doing another ramp test because I have a new power meter. I now have a Quarq power meter. I was using a Stages power meter before. So I wanna do the ramp test to get a new FTP on my new power meter so that I know that my zones are set correctly. Let's change out these end caps. So this little black piece right here is the end cap. They include end caps for pretty much any kind of axle size that you can find. According to the instructions that come with the hammer, I'll need a crescent wrench and a 5mm hex. I'm not gonna be needing this quick release anymore. Now there's one for 142 mil and one for 148, and then there's this piece as well. Super simple process. The new end caps are now on. So let's mount up the bike, see if it mounts up okay. And she is mounted up, very sturdy, feels really good. Now, since this bike does have disc brakes, I want to be very careful not to accidentally squeeze the brakes because I don't want to have to fix that. So I'm gonna put this little separator in between the pads to make sure that if I do squeeze them, that they don't like push out. Hopefully this will keep that space nice and neat so I don't have to spread them back apart. Now that the bike is ready, mounted to the trainer, I'm not gonna ride it right now. I'm gonna wait and ride it later when I do my FTP test. So for now, that's it. I'll pick this camera back up when I start the test.
That future. That future. That future. That future. Applause to the end of the ceremony. Let's go. Look around us, there ain't no fences, just bridges to the ears of the listeners. On deck, take a swing, sharper senses, looking for a weakness in the system. Finally, it's you and me.
The goal of the ramp test today was really to figure out how my FTP read, how my watts read on the Quarq power meter. What you guys don't know is that I actually did an FTP test a couple weeks ago when I wasn't making any videos, and my FTP had actually increased since the last test that I did in April or May, just by a couple watts, not a huge difference. But it was good to see that increase, so I wanted to figure out if my FTP was different with the Quarq power meter, because I kind of suspected that it would be, being that it's a different meter. It may read, you know, a little bit different. What I've learned about doing all these FTP tests over the past year is that sometimes you have to be subjective with the results. When I first started doing these tests, I felt like the result was live or die by. And what I've learned over time is that that's not really the case. There's some days where your best is 30 or 40 watts less than your FTP. We've all had those days, But what I'm getting at is that when you get the result from the test, you have to look at that and decide if you feel if that's right or not. And then the best thing to do is to test it in your workouts and see. So basically what I'm getting at is that I actually got a result that was over 20 watts lower than my last test. One of the main factors that could be affecting today's result is on the mountain bike ride this weekend, we had to hike a bike in a couple spots and I got bit by chiggers. If you don't know what chiggers are, they're these little small bugs. I've never actually seen one, and they crawl on you and they bite you and then it itches. I was really suffering last night trying to go to sleep, so I took a Benadryl and I woke up like an hour and a half later than I wanted to wake up to do the test, and I still felt pretty groggy. I may have still been a little bit drugged for the test. So I'm not gonna sit around and just be like, okay, I need to take another test, I need to get the result that I need. What I'm gonna do is subjectively use the numbers for some intervals. So basically I'm gonna take probably about 10 watts off my FTP and go out and do some intervals and see how they feel, see how hard they are, and just kind of figure out where my FTP really is, just based in real life experiences. Now when you use Xert, you don't actually do FTP test anyways. It just calculates your FTP for you. But I feel like it's not a great experiment. There's a lot of variables involved. Besides the excuses that I have, it's also a new bike, a new power meter. So it's hard for me to really pinpoint which difference is affecting the result. It could be that the power meters read the same and I'm just having an off day. When I go out and ride, and I know Strava's not everything, but right now when I ride, like I do a decent ride with Strava, I'm usually getting PRs for a lot of segments that I ride on a regular basis. So to me, that shows improvement. I'm gonna go ahead and get into my strength session this morning because it is Tuesday and I'm just loading up Tuesday this week because I've got a little bit of extra time today, so I wanna get it in and make today hard. I'm gonna do a hard ride this evening, and then tomorrow can be a little bit easier and get a little bit of recovery in. All right, that is gonna be it for the morning session. So we got the FTP session and the strength session in today, but now that the morning session is wrapped up, it's time to get some breakfast in and try to recover for the session later this evening. Breakfast is ready. We got the scrambled egg whites with a whole egg, spinach, and some oatmeal that I kind of use my own peanut butter powder, Trivia sugar, some Fairlife milk, and then some of that Reese's spread to just give it a little sweetness. So yeah, breakfast is good to go. The work day's over. I'm at the North Welcome Station now, which is the trailhead for the canal loop. And I'm actually gonna do 2 loops, but I'm gonna do them backwards. I don't ride loops backwards very often. This isn't a directional trail, but most of the time we ride the trail counterclockwise. So I'm gonna ride them clockwise today. It kind of presents like a new challenge, and since I don't know the trail as well in this direction, it makes it a little bit more fun and challenging, like I said. So that's the goal for today. I'm not gonna wear my GoPro because I just kind of want to focus on the ride and get in a pretty good ride today. So I'll see you guys afterwards. As you can see, I am walking, not riding. Basically about 2 miles in, my rear wheel started to feel flat. So I stopped and checked it. Sure enough, it was flat. Or it wasn't flat, it lost a lot of air, but there wasn't like a cut or anything. So I got my CO2 inflator out and started to inflate it, but my CO2 inflator has been pretty sketchy lately, and it basically just blew up as soon as the air came out. So my CO2 inflator broke. And I've got no way to put air in the tire, so I'm pushing out. Luckily there's a connector just up ahead. There's actually a storm rolling in tonight, and I was trying to ride in time to beat the storm. But you know, this is part of biking. Rarely do I have mechanicals. I actually didn't even cut the tire. It was actually a problem with my valve. It's been clogging lately, and it doesn't close properly. I've been complaining about chiggers the past couple videos. I really hope I don't get bit by more chiggers on this hike. I got back to the car and went ahead and aired up my tire, and it seemed like I could make it before the storm hit, so I did a really fast lap, did a sub-hour loop going backwards, which was pretty much my goal. Got a couple trophies on Strava, so that was really cool. Like I said, I don't ride that direction very often, and that's the hardest I've ever ridden in that direction. So it was a lot of fun because I'm not familiar with the trail. Like, even though I've ridden that trail hundreds of times the other directions, I had times where I'm like, where am I? I've now driven over to the other trail that's about 10 minutes away, BBMT, because Misty and Kevin rode here tonight, and Misty works at a hospital, and she actually got me some kind of medicine that's supposed to help with the itching of the chiggers. So she stashed it here for me before she left. So I am hoping that someone didn't steal it. This says quick relief for insect bites. It's called Chiggerid. Not just for chiggers, it's also for mosquitoes and other bites. I definitely need something like this in my life because I'm really bad about itching these things, and then they take forever to heal for me. It's about to storm. I'm gonna try to get home. It's Taco Tuesday. I love making tacos on Tuesdays. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I thought you guys might like to know it's Taco Tuesday. That's it for the video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. As always, don't forget to smash the thumbs up, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.